Good day, brothers and sisters and elders. My name is Wayne Christian, the Executive Director of the Round Lake Treatment Center. A small group of Indian people from the area here, the Okanagan Spell Mission Reserves, got together in July of 1977 to discuss the problems of alcoholism amongst the Indian people here in the interior of British Columbia. At that time, it was recognized that there were no treatment facilities for Indian people. The same group of people in July of 1978 got together and formed the Interior Native Alcohol and Drug Abuse Society. And one of the main goals of that society was to establish a residential treatment facility. Henceforth, what came about was what we have around us here, the Round Lake Treatment Center. The Round Lake Treatment Center is based on the philosophy that culture is treatment. It's operated by a 12-member board that's all Indian people from the interior bands, the 41 bands in the interior. And with that philosophy of the culture as treatment, it's really recognized that one of the big issues with alcohol in our people is the loss of identity, the loss of our own spiritual, cultural identity that our people had for so many years, the loss of the ability to be in touch with Mother Earth. So consequently, having that philosophy is one of the key elements, makes it so the people that come here know who they are and where they're going and where they come from, because that is very essential for people that are having problems in the area of alcoholism and substance abuse.
The dream was about the treatment center, later to be called the Round Lake Treatment Center. From there, we carried the dream on for the betterment of our people. Our children is our leaders for tomorrow, and our culture needs to be revived, and culture is part of the treatment.
When we did decide how we wanted Round Lake, and it came to, had to be our native cultural ways, like the sweats, the smudge, and we bring in elders to teach us more about how to do about cleansing ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
I wasn't raised around culture, and I never spoke my language. And going from the whole system of Catholic Church, residential school, and not knowing how Okanagan people were, or even how people a long time ago used to pray or, help themselves. I think mostly because a lot of the clients who come in here were in the same place I was, when I sobered up and stuff, and they really don't know. It has to do with their identity crisis and knowing, not even being proud of being Indian. And I think that's really important, to be proud of who you are and where you come from. And I think that's really the bottom line why I really support the culture being here.
We can't show you by talking to you about it. It's just not the Indian way, I feel anyway. And that was one of the teachings that I received from the elders, is that we can't teach you by just talking to you, we have to show you. And I think Round Lake does a really good job of showing sobriety and culture and sharing.
The support that we have from all over the province, from the bands, off-reserve communities in the urban setting, etc., has been excellent. We feel that there are some things that could better the situation in understanding what Round Lake's all about. I know that people, when they hear Round Lake's name, they know it is a treatment center, but they don't fully understand what goes on here. And I believe that there's a lot of things that could be done in the future in instilling in people's mind and giving them the knowledge to understand fully what the process of recovery is in alcoholism.
The Round Lake Treatment Program, or treatment center here, is based on the philosophy that culture is treatment. I think it's really clear that in the discussions that were taking place about the development of Round Lake, that people have to know where they're coming from and know where they're going, and a part of that is knowing who they are as Indian people. And a central focus of the Round Lake Treatment Program is the utilization of the sweat lodge, the utilization of spiritual people in the program. And I think it's quite clear that in the philosophy that we have, that all components, the mind, body, spirit, and emotions, are taken care of. And it's clear that the treatment philosophy is one where the individual has to be very accepting and know, in essence, who they are as Indian people before they can go on in life. And one of the key contributors to alcoholism amongst our people today is a lack of Indian identity. And that issue we address here at the Round Lake Treatment Center. The Round Lake Treatment Center, in its physical environment and the way the buildings were organized here, embodies 9 main areas that embody the philosophy of culture is treatment. Culture emphasizes the balance of the spiritual, physical, intellectual, and emotional needs. The sweat lodges, the men's and women's sweat and arbor outside provide the opportunity for spiritual awareness, for the people to become in touch with their higher power in their own way in terms of how they pray within the sweat lodge. All physical needs are taken care of in the north and south residential wings, along with the dining and kitchen area. Aside from the immediate need for shelter, physical development to build health is encouraged by the Activity Center. The building was dedicated to Emery Lewis in 1984. Emery, a local Okanagan Indian, was one of the founding members of the Interior Native Alcohol Abuse Society and henceforth Round Lake, and was actively involved in many sports. The balance of the spiritual, physical, intellectual, and emotional needs occur in the Four Seasons building. The building itself is shaped in a circle. The sacredness of the circle and consequently what it does for individuals is quite important. This area is where the clients experience unconditional acceptance in an emotionally safe environment that helps them get rid of the stuff that has been hurts in their life and henceforth get rid of the need to drink and the alcoholism that goes along with that.